So this is me just using this as a tool to keep me in check and motivated. So every day, I for the next 30 days, I'll be doing 2 hours of problem solving on the hackerrank platform. So today is the first day after some setup. We're starting by 3:12. So end time should be 5:12 max. So let's get to it. So for today, the challenge that was released for me has to do, as you can see from here, I did this already the previous day, and here we have the one challenge, which is data types. So it says, I today we are discussing data types. Check out this tutorial tab, and when I click hold down control and click on it, it opens in a new tab. So I come here to read about the resource material, but before that, let's just go through it and see what they are trying to talk about. Tags. Complete the code in the editor below. The variable I, comma d, comma and s are already declared and initialized for you. You must one declare three variables, one of type integer, that's int, one of type double, one of type strings. Okay. Two, read three lines of input from the standard input according to the sequence given in the input format section below and initialize your three variables. Use the plus operator to perform the following operations. Print the sum of I plus your integer variable on a new line. Print the sum of d plus your double variable on a new line. Variable to scale of one decimal place on a new line. Concatenate s with the string you read as input and print the result on a new line. Note, if you are using a language that does not support this for string concatenation etc, you can just print one line, one variable immediately following the order of the same line. A string provided in your editor must be printed first, immediately followed by the string you read as input. Input format. The first line contains an integer that you must sum with I. The second line contains an integer, a double that you must sum with D. The third line contains a string that you must concatenate with S. The output, print the sum of both integers on the first line, the sum of both double scaled to one decimal place on the second line, and two concatenated strings on the third line. So what is expected of me is that when I get a sample input of 12, I'll add 12 to the I variable. So I guess I is 4 here. This 4.0, I'll add it to maybe, I guess D is 4.0 here. And S, which is the string, is hackerrank is, okay, hackerrank. Then is the best place, is the coding example, the encryption and pass. So when we sum the integer 4 and 12, we get 16. We sum 4.4, we get 4.4, we get 8.0. When we concatenate this with this, we get this. You will not pass the challenge if you attempt to assign the sample case value to your variable instead of following the instructions and reading input from the standard input. So let's see what they have in their tutorials page here. So terms you will find helpful in completing today's challenge are outlined below, or along with some Java code where appropriate. Data types, uh, find data type defined and restrict what type can be stored. Okay, on it, there's primitive, has 8 primitive types. You have this. Okay. Hmm. So I get the challenge, and I'm using this is this challenge is kind of like the language they're using here is very low level language. Let's see what they have in the tutorial. Watch on YouTube. The video is unavailable playback. That has been disabled. Okay, so that is that for the today's challenge. So I don't think this will really be helpful based on I'm using JavaScript. So I'll just go ahead and try and implement what has been asked of us. So from the whole project description, it's pretty straightforward. I would first of all solve it in J because currently my language, the language I'm learning is JavaScript, and I know TypeScript is a bit advanced JavaScript, like a so I know JavaScript is a subset of TypeScript. So first, let's try and see how we can do this in JavaScript. So first off, when you come, I can see that they've already given us a setup. So they used process.stand in resume to resume for nodes to resume the standard input to read from the public command line. Then process.standard in sets encoding to ASIC. They declared a variable called input stand and to an empty string, another input stand array empty string. The current line should be they set it as 0. Then the process does standard in on data. There is a function that takes a data as the parameter and it adds that data to standard input and stand in on end. When we are done with it, the standard input array will now be equals to the input standard dot split by this guy by the new lines, and then you call the main function. So when we are ended reading, we pass whatever we have into an array, and we are going to call the main function with complete lines from the standard input. This is to read a complete line from the standard input. What's in the main function is just setting of the variables. So here they've set our variable I to be 4, D to be 4.0, and the string to be hackerrank. So let's try and implement this in JavaScript and see how far we go. So the first thing here we declare is declare second integer double and a string variable. So okay, so let's do that. const second int should be equal to, so my second int should be what I'm getting from the standard inputs. So I'm declaring an integer variable which is equal to, what am I setting it to? The integer variable, I want to set it to the lines of image on the salary bit. Okay, so I will declare and not initialize the variables first. So for that reason, I'll be using the let keyword to declare a my integer variable, and there is a double variable, and there is a string variable. Okay, so let's put each of these in their own lines. All right, so we have that. Next thing, read and save an integer double and this to your variable. So I guess they help us to read it in, and at the end of the day, what they are doing is they are putting it here. They collected everything they read at the end of the day in this input that was here, and then they passed it into this string. When they passed it into the string, they now use the split method to divide it. So this will make it to be an array of strings of this nature. Oh, sorry. This will make it to be, I will be getting something of such. Oh, I see. I'm not allowed to edit anything here. So I'll be getting, most likely, I'll be getting something of this nature of, say, the first input, probably a 12, comma, a 4.0, comma, and a string is the, I'm getting something like this. So since I'm getting something like that, I could do a destructuring and assign it directly in one line using int var, comma, okay, let's use an array and see if it works. Int var, comma, double variable, comma, a string variable to be equal to whatever is the current value of inputs, underscore standard in underscore array. So at the moment, let's check and see what we have for, so const, okay, console.log int var double var string var. Okay, infra is not defined. Uh, let's try and let's correct it. I hope it's console logs. It's wrong answer. I know, but I'm not seeing the output. So I'm just trying to check and see if what I did here is actually valid syntax. So let me open my terminal to see if it will work on my local machine, and then I'll implement it. I'll continue, we know we're on track. So okay, let's see. We're trying to assign an array to set of variables. So the first thing I'm going to do is to define my array. Say constant. Say we have 1, comma 2, comma 3. Oh, constant. Yep. So, and we want to now say let's um a let's b let's c. So we do a is undefined yet. So if we now come and say a comma b comma c is equal to array. So if we say a, we get 1, b, we get 2, c, we get 3. So yeah, it works. So let's continue. So this automatically would work. What we did here would work. So what we are going to do now is print the sum of both integers on a new line. Um, so the sum of both integers on a new line. I guess using console log would not be bad. So we are going to do console.log sum of int var plus I, then print the sum of the double on a new line. Okay, so I'm going to console.log the double var plus d, then concatenate string, concatenate and print the string variables on a new line. The s variable above should be printed first. So I'm going to do console.log s plus string var. Okay, so let's run our code and see hopefully if it's we are correct this time around. Wrong answer. The input was 12 for this. My output was okay. Okay, so I see the error here. This is my output. This is my error. So first things first. This is as a result of the fact that I did not convert my strings to integer first before carrying out the addition operation. And yeah, I'm guessing it's because I failed to um, take it to one decimal place. And also, what did I do wrong here? Okay, yes, that's correct. The same thing, I did not take it to a number first before adding it, so it is concatenating that string. This is correct. Hackerrank is the best place to learn and practice coding. So basically what I'm going to do is to come here and resolve that issue. So there's a short syntax for changing string to numbers, which is um, this plus single operand. So when I run again, let's see, hopefully, okay, wrong, okay, this is correct. So the only wrong thing is this, which is supposed to be 8.0, but I'm getting 8. So to fix that, to fix that, I'm going to use the, okay, I could use the math.round method to do that. Let's see. Mm, mm, mm. Back to node here. If we do 3 points to fixed, I think there is a dot to fixed method 2. Okay, this is math dot to fixed. What is the syntax for this thing? Okay, let's say math dot round. Okay. Hmm. Mm. Now I think it's working fine. The only thing is to get this to a float point number like this. And I think the best way to do that in JS would be to use the dots to fixed here, but it's still coming out as a regular number. So I'm doing a dot to fixed. It comes out as a string, but when I convert it to a number, it goes back to default. Yep. So how do we do this? How do we do this? Right. Let's see. Let's check these docs. Hmm. I think my best bet is to Google. Okay. How to how to make a single sheet on personal. So 3 points to fixed. I want 3.0 as a number, but when I convert string to number, it turns to a style a fix. Um, yes. Whoa. So it is a JavaScript thing, actually. So it says in 2026, it remains a fundamental rule of JavaScript that you cannot store 3.0 as number type while preserving the trailing zero. JavaScript numbers are stored as 64 bits, but float point values where 3 and this are mathematically identical represent the same way in memory. When you convert a string like this back to number, JavaScript automatically strips the redundant zero to not because they do not change the numeric value. The solution trading zero after this display or format in display not this. To keep this, you must keep the value as a string. Okay, let's see if that works for us. I should keep the value as a string. Okay. Oh, so it doesn't check whether the number is a string or not. So yeah, I think we are done with this one. Let's So next we'll use TypeScript now to solve this problem. Okay, so quite the same thing. We've gotten the same thing from here. The same thing, they will resume the standard inputs. They set the encoding to UTF-8. They set a string variable, an array that holds strings, current line number, which is 0 on data, while end they put everything in an array and change the input string to nothing. Then they call the main function. So here's where we write our code. So the same thing, similar thing to what we've done in JS. We are just going to be attaching the types to each of these. So what we are going to do here is to what we are going to do here is to um, let's first of all define our variables. So what are the variables that we need? We need three variables, right? So we say let's the integer variable is going to be a number, and then select um, um, the double variable is going to be also a number. Was there float? No, so it's also a number. And then let the string variable be a string. Okay, so we have that sorted out. The next thing we want to do the mathematical operation on there and log it to the console. So we're doing console. Let's log equals to console log. This is just for convenience. I'm going to log out the initial var plus change the input that we got. Oh, sorry. Next thing we want to assign them. So we have declared, but we have not assigned them values yet. So we will now say an array containing int var, comma, double var, comma, and string var should be equal to the entire array of input lines. Right, so next we want to now log out the value we get from int var plus, in addition to a number I seem not to get what this is all about. Something is missing. Okay, so we are supposed to declare our inputs. Okay. Declare three variable types, one for this. The variables ID and S are already set. So they did not set those for us. Let's set it. Const I equals to I think 12. And then const ID is equal to 4.0. Then const string is equal to this best place to learn and practice coding. Okay. here we go. So we're taking the I and just see. We're going to log dd. Sorry, double variable. Okay, we're going to then change the dimension, that is dot to fixed and 1. And lastly, we're going to log out the string var plus s. Oh no, it's wrong. Then s plus the string var. So our s value is hackerrank. Yeah, this is hackerrank. I'm guessing this is correct. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so line 31. Oh, it's a function. Okay, let's take out this guy and use the regular console.log. Console.log. Let's see. Okay. Error. Type string is not assignable to type number. So 32. Yeah. Oh, I see. So we cannot assign a number to a string. So we have to change it. Okay, so it should be or. So that means I'll do this manually, I guess. This destruction would not work here. I should use something of this nature. Say this is 0 and change it to plus, and then so I'm going to copy this and do the same thing for it, equal to a plus input line and 1, and then the last one, which is string var, is equal to input line and the 2, and then we are going to take out these two guys. Yep. And I suppose this will work, so there should be no need for this in the first place. And this, so let's see, run. Okay, so it runs, but it's not matching the expected output. So I'm getting 24 instead of 12, 16 instead of 4. The last one looks good and fine. So what is happening? So my input is 12, and then or is that am I not supposed to declare these guys? Okay, I don't think I'm supposed to, because this input 12. So here is supposed to be 4. Uh, 4.0. The D. Okay, okay. So I'm adding this guy to D. Okay. So let's run it again and see. So I think I'm getting it correct now. It's just this. That's because I guess this is what is wrong. So let's copy their code, their syntax, and place it here. Where? Okay, exactly. Okay, here. This is what I'm getting wrong. Hackerrank. Okay, so we're good, and we've been able to solve it using JS and TypeScript. So I will submit for site TypeScript. So while they run their tests. Okay. All right. And then submitted. Okay. Let's just share it out. Okay. So I think we're done. Congratulations. Let's try it and see a random challenge. Let's go back to JS and giving two strings. Giving two strings, determine if they share a common substring. A substring a may be as small as one character, e.g., they shall this share would share common string substring A. It do not share function complete function two strings. In the editor below, two strings has the following parameter. We have s1, s2. Okay, another string return yes, either yes or no. Input format. The first line contains a single integer p. Okay, the test case, number of test case, the following p pairs of lines are as follows. First line contains s1, second line contains string s2. Constraint s1, s2 consists of characters ranging from A to Z. Okay, 1 is lesser than or equal to P and P is less than 10. Okay, 1 is less than or equal to the absolute value. Okay, output for each pair return yes or no. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So so the approach could be to, since it's a character, a I could look through one of the strings, and if at any point I find, okay, mm, so basically what I will do is to, let's go through, convert one of the strings to, convert one of the strings to a, okay, so we could convert one of the strings to an array. If we convert the string to an array, and then look through using each of those array to look through the order. So I could convert each of these strings to an array. So let me check my um so if I have, say, let's a, so let's say our a is equal to hello, and our b is equal to world. If I now do an a dot split, okay, so if I do b, How do I optimize this code now? So there is I'm looping through the entire array. So how do I optimize this stuff? Because it's failing to complete run successfully. Those two text cases are no longer here. Oh my god. So we'll be ending today's stream at 1 hour 9 minutes for this challenge. And we'll continue tomorrow.